Alright, we'll try to make one here. I just use the gouge. And we need to leave a post out here on the front. And then round off down to it. And a lot of times I come in and try to get that post established. And we need to clean up the end and dish it just a little bit. And we need, I don't know, I call it about 3/8 here sticking out. And then the rest of it back here will be rounded by the time we get done. But I don't worry so much about this right now as getting the front half done. And that I want to try to get this sphere here as round as I can, almost a ball. And try to shape this a little bit. Whoops. Well, when you try to do this to the camera, you end up messing things all up, but it'll come out, hopefully. You just need to get that rounded off to where it looks like a ball, and then try to round the bottom around. Now comes the fun part. Now we need to hollow out the inside a little bit. So I come around to the front, and let me move the camera. Alright, now I use just my small parting tool, and I come in here and get the front. And see, you can also run that down, and then we need to get the sides cleaned out a little bit. And as you can see, we're going quite a ways in there. And I just use that parting tool. I can also start out here and straighten my post out to about the size I want it. And I need to go, I don't know, over halfway. And see, I can just run that parting tool around in there and get most of that cleaned out. And then kind of leave me a flat edge here, I guess you'd say, a lip. But you need to try to get in as far as you can back into the sides of this to get the weight down on the top. And then get down inside. But you want this top, if I had my little swan neck, I'd be using that, but I don't have it. So anyway, as you can see, we've got, well, we'll say there, you know, we're that deep into the thing, and we kind of run the edge of the parting tool down our shaft to use it as a scraper. And the problem with these is you never know whether they work until you get done with them. So I think we're about close. So let me move the camera again. Okay, so we'll bring our tool rest back around, and now we can start taking off the rest of this. And we just try to round that down. get it down halfway close, and then I do my sanding. And I'll try to stay out of the way here as I sand. And I sand the shaft a little bit, just kind of to break that corner. And we should have something that looks pretty close to round. Then I use my parting tool again. Then I use the parting tool, and I come in and I try to cut this down and shape the bottom with the parting tool to where I finally get it knocked off. And now I've got just a little bit of a nub, and that I can usually just sand off. And once I get that done, we can see that I'm fairly deep in there. I don't know whether I can get the light to show in there or not. Not really. But anyway, I'm fairly deep and cut out a little bit on the edges. Okay, now the first thing, you've got your TipsyTop hopefully made. When you lay it on the side, it should bounce back up. If you lay it on the side and it stays on the side, you need to take more out of the inside. But that looks like I may be close. So now let's go try it. Nope, that one didn't work. So we need to take a little bit more out of the inside somehow and see if we can lighten up the top. Alright, I put it back in the chuck, turn the lathe down to a slow speed, and then try to run it and get it centered. And then try to go in and tighten it up a little bit, and then see if it's running centered, and it looks pretty good. Then I can go back in with my parting tool and try to clean out that inside a little bit more. And that's what we have to do, is we just have to keep trying it back and forth until we get things cleaned out. After I get it cleaned out, I can take it off and try it again. You also want just a slight cup here. You don't want it pointed or rounded. You want a little bit of a cup on the end.